Tom Bizance, also known as Mr. Numbers on YouTube, has been called a math magician. He is the founder of Pattern Play Math, a unique, visual, fun, and whole-body way for preschoolers all the way up to 6th grade students to master basic math.
So this is Tom Bizance, also known as Mr. Numbers to some of you, and I create Pattern Play Math. And so it's like playing with numbers. So it's really fun, and you learn math in a lot easier way as you understand the basic pattern foundations of how numbers work for doing it. And today we're going to play with the squares. Now, squaring numbers means 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, and we're going to go up to 50 times 50. Actually, we'll go up to 60 times 60 today, just because it's fun. Because it's a simple pattern. All you're really doing is doing a little adding for almost all of it. A 1-digit number, you can do that. And squares are really important. A lot of people think of squares as the, just when you do the times tables, just the numbers that equal the same number. So 5 times 5 and 6 times 6. And that's true. But actually, there's something special about squares, because squares show up everywhere. Literally, as you get more into math and algebra and geometry and trigonometry, but all math, x squared, if you've seen that, that is a square. That's part of the basic formula that you use for all kinds of stuff. And not just math, but actually science. That the whole universe has squares, are really helpful in it. And not just there, but in classes, in biology class, in physics class, in lots of science classes. You'll find that you'll be using squares to figure stuff out, to know what you're doing with. Chemistry, it's there. It's all over the place. So, and actually a lot of middle school teachers have kids learn the squares up to 25, just because they're used so often that it's like having, a leg up. It's like you're ahead of the game if you can do squares, because you don't have to take time to sit there and multiply 14 times 14. And you just know that it's 196. So, and you just go all the way up with that as high as you want to go, or you can figure them out really easily and quickly with this method. And actually, one kid made a comment on my video on this on YouTube, and he said his school had a contest where they see who could square the highest number, and he ended up with the highest in his school, squaring 75 times 75 in his head using this method. So it's really powerful, and he won a smartphone by doing that. So you may not win a smartphone, but it'll really help you in math and science and in life to really get the squares down. I'll teach you how to do the squares in a really easy way that's different than anybody else does. All other people have formulas that they use. Actually, we're using something totally different. We're taking the ones in one pattern and the tens digits in another pattern and putting them together, and it really is easy. Let's show you how it works.
Here is Mr. Numbers' incredibly easy way to create the squares of numbers to 30, 40 or higher, if you like, from 2 simple patterns using the ones digits and the tens digits. It's very easy. Are you curious? All you need to do is know the squares of 1, 2, 3, and 4, and be able to add simple numbers. The biggest one is 152 plus 8. You can do that. Let's look at the squares of the numbers from 0 to 10 to see the simple patterns. Starting with the right of the line, the ones digits, with a fun nickname, the onesies. They start and end with 0 with a 5 in the middle. Now look at 1 to 4 squared and you'll see 1, 4, 9, 6 pattern in the onesies between the 0 and the 5. And if you look from the bottom, 0, going up to the 5, you have 1, 4, 9, 6 there too. Well, that's a cool pattern. It's all symmetrical around the 5s there. If you're ready to create the onesies of the squares now of 1 to 40 using line paper or graph paper, put in the numbers and a vertical line on the right to separate the tens digits and the onesies. Go ahead and fill in the zeros and 5s down the table, because if you square any number ending in 0, the answer will be 0. If you square any number ending in 5, the answer will be 5. Now there's a pattern that you can use, and you can read that on the right.
If you want to watch the rest of this animated video, you can by doing a Google video search for how to square numbers and Mr. Numbers.
All right. So that's how that works. Now, we're actually going to have you do it. And hopefully you have the paper, the worksheet. And if not, just write out the numbers 1 to 50 or 60. And then draw a line on the right side so that you have something that you can write the squares out with the ones digits and tens digits separated, just like they were in the video we just watched. The squares: 1 times 1 squared is 1, 10 squared is 100, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and we'll actually go down to do 51 to 60, just to show you how easy it is. And you can continue using this method all the way to 100 or higher if you want. I wanted to show you this. So square any number and create the 20 by 20 times table without multiplying. What? Is that possible? Yes, it is very possible. If you take a look at a 20 by 20 times table, 20 by 20, the squares go right down the middle of that. That it divides it right in 2 equal halves. It's the first one and the last one. 1 times 1 and 20 times 20 are both squares, and they're all yellow going all the way down. Now, tangent to that diagonal line, the ones that touch that, are actually 1 less. On both sides, all those ones are 1 less. Let me show you an example of that. Here's 25. Right here is 6 times 4, and right here is 4 times 6. 1 less than 25 is 24. This is 16. So 5 times 3 is 15, and 3 times 5 is 15. 1 less than the 16. This is 9. 1 less than 9 is 8, and 2 times 4 is 8, and 4 times 2 is 8. And that happens all the way down, and these ones are all 4 less than the square, and these are 9 less than the square, and these are 16 less than the square, and these are 25 less than the square. So I have had 5th grade classes, and you can actually do these ones in between as well. And I've had 5th grade classes create the 20 by 20 times table. And I'm going to do another video on that later. So maybe in 2 weeks, I might do a video on that. So watch for that. This is just a snapshot of the video. And it's just 0 times 0 is 0, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, like that. But if you want to get a good overall picture of the squares from 1 to 100, then just make this 10 times 10. And you put 2 zeros here, so you put 2 zeros here. And 10 times 10 is 100. See how easy that is? A lot of kids really don't understand how easy it is to do the tens. And it's really important because it gives you a foundation of the squares, if you go all the way down, you'll know exactly what they are. Let's just keep going down. So 2 times 2 becomes 20 times 20. We put 2 zeros there, so we add 2 zeros over here. And 20 times 20 is 400. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. Well, 30 times 30 is 900. And let's just keep going right on down. 4 times 4 is 16, and also 40 times 40, we added 2 zeros, is 1600. 5 times 5 is 25. Well, then 50 times 50 is 2500. 60 times 60 is 3600. 70 times 70, 7 times 7 is 49, but 70 times 70 is 4900. 80 times 80 is 6400. 9 times 9 is 81. Well, 90 times 90 is 8100. 10 times 10 is 100. Well, 100 times 100, add 2 zeros, and you 3 zeros, put your comma, is 10,000. So that's how easy it is to do the tens. It's just as simple can be. Now, what we're going to actually do is we're going to do the fives, because the fives have a real easy trick to them. If you already have every 10, then you can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And if you know the fives, then you're actually getting within 2 of any number that you want to square. What? That's true. With 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, that's real easy. But notice we have 25 down after all these. 15 squared, these are all squared. This is all squaring these numbers. And what you do with these is you put the 25 over here, and in start it, you just use the number in front. So there's just, and at 15 squared, or 10/5 squared, I do it that way, the 1 is the number in front of the 5. And you just take that 1, the number in front of the 5, times 1 more than that number. So it's like 1 times 1 more than 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. And you just write the 2. It's that easy. 15 squared, take the 1, multiply times 1 more than 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 15 squared is 225. Now, 25 squared, then, take the 2 in front of the 5 and multiply times 1 more than 2 is 3. 2 times 3 is, 6. You just write the 6 there, and 25 squared is 625. It's that easy. It's so incredible that you can do that and know that easily for doing it. So let's continue on. 35 squared. Do you believe this is that easy? Yes, it is that easy. 3 times 1 more than 3 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. And you just write the 12 and write 25 after it is 1225. 45. 4 times 1 more than 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 45 squared. You can do that right now in your head, because all you have to do is write 4 times 5 is 20 and write 25 after it. 65. 6 times 5, 6 times 1 more than 6, 6 times 7 is 42. 65 squared is 4225. 75. 7 times 8 is 56. 8 times 9, 1 more than 8. 8 times 9 is 72. If you know those basic times tables, then the squares become really, really easy. And then 95, 9 times 10 is 90. And all of a sudden, there you are. Any one is within 2 of a 0 or a 5. So if you're squaring any other number, you can easily go to the 0 or go to the 5, and then work your way up or down. And I'll show you how to do that. Square these numbers. Okay? Now, we start with 1, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and we're separating out the ones digits from the tens digits. So now we go to 10, and we know that's going to end in a 0. Okay? So we go up from there, 1, 4, 9, 6. And between the 6s, we put a 5. And it makes total sense because we're squaring 5. That's going to be 25. And that's then going to be 36 and 49. And there's our 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's go back to our ones digits.
and finish those up. So we got 0 here. So below the 0, we put 1, 4, 9, 6. Okay? And then at 20, put our 0 down here and we go up. 1, 4, 9, 6. We put our 5 in the middle because it's right at 15 and that's going to end in a 5. Okay? 0, 1, 4, 9, 6 with a 5 in the middle. Now we're going to do from 20, and actually that's going to be the same number. I just repeated the 20 so that it's easier to see the pattern. And we put our 2 zeros at 20 and 30 and down at 40. Okay? And actually I'm going to go up. I'm going to start going up. 1, 4, 9, 6. Go up to this 0. So I have to remember that 1, 4, 9, 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 squared. 1, 4, 9, 6. And then go down. 1, 4, 9, 6. You got 25, so the 5 in between the 2 6s. Go down. 1, 4, 9, 6. And between the 6s, you put the 5, and it's right at 35. So you know the 5 goes there in multiple ways. And I just want you to have multiple ways to see that and do that. This is going up by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's by the first 5. Oh, okay. So now 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81. 10 times 10 is 100. Now let's just use that much and follow the pattern from that, because you trust that much. So we got 4, 6, 8, 10. Does that sound familiar? Yep, it's even numbers going up by 2s. Plus 2 goes up this way, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So we do 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. And you know 12 times 12 is 144. So you already got that. And then 13 times 13 is 169. So you got that. So you're working your way right on down. And these are all right by the second 5, or 10 divided by 5 equals 2. And they're all going up by 2s. Now, let's go down. And we're at a 9. H9 is where the pattern changed. So we're at a 9 here. And 3s and 7s make 9s. So it's went up by 1s, went up by 2s, and we're getting near 15, which if you divide that by 5 equals 3. So we went up by 0s, by 1s, by 2s, and let's try 3s. 16 plus 3 is 19. 19 plus 3 is 22. 22 plus 3 is 25, and 25 plus 3 is 28. That's really easy math. And the delight on this is here, this went up by 2s from a multiple of 2. 4 is a multiple of 2. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Now we went up by 3s up to 28. Now we're getting down to 20, and you divide that by 5, and that equals 4. So we're going up by 4s, and we're at a multiple of 4. 28 is a multiple of 4, just like 4 was a multiple of 2. So if you know your 4s at all, then you just do 28, 32, 36, and 40. Okay? Now I repeated the 20 times 20, so we just put the 40 up here.
And 20 times 20 equals 400.
Because we are not down to our 9 till we get down here. So we just add 3 more 4s, 44, 48, and 52. Now we're going up by 5. By 25 divided by 5 equals 5. So we're going to jump up by 5s. 52 plus 5, 57. Then we just do 2, 7, 2, 7, 2. 57, 62, 67, 72. Just making it
easy and fun. Now we're getting down to 30. We divide that by 5. And see, this helps when we want to jump in later. We can just know, that it's going up by 6s if it's around 30. Okay? So 72 plus 6s. So we just add 6s, 78, 84, and 90. And 30 times 30 is 900. And that makes sense to you, right? Now, something I want to, tell you is that all these numbers that you're creating, if you create them, 20 times, it's always the same numbers. So you don't have to do that addition. You can actually kind of know that sequence. Let's just keep adding 6s. And then these are just doing 1496 and 01496. So those are easy to figure out too. So all the pieces are really easy. So 102 and 108, adding 6s. Now we're getting to 35. Divided by 5 is 7. So 115, 122, 129, 136. Plus 2 goes up this way, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. But 8s go 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Basically, we're adding 10 and subtracting 2. Is another way for you to see that. Well, here's 12. If we start from 36, here's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And our going up by 8s, 40 divided by 5 is 8. So if we're going up by 8, then the 10s digits, we can add 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then subtract 2, 6, 4, 2, 0. I hope you get that, because it's a really fun trick to do, and it's useful. Now, we're still going up by 8s, because 40 divided by 5 equals 8. So 168, that's easy. Oh, and let's do our 1s digits. Let me grab the blue again, and we do our, if you can see all of it, 1496. Put our 0 down here and go up, 1496, and put a 5 in the middle and divide by 45, so we can trust that one. Now, let's do 168. So again, we're doing 0, 8, 6, 4. Well, then we got to add our 10s. 17, 18. Okay, we didn't add it here because we're going up 8. But you could actually think of that as actually 10 and going back down 2. So it works that way as well. So here we are at 184. 43 squared is 1,849. We're working with some big numbers, but a simple pattern. So it makes it a lot easier to do it, and you can do it. So 45 divided by 5 equals 9. Well, now 9, we grab this number wheel here, because on a number wheel, most of you hopefully know now that you can go around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the 9s just do this, go down around 10 and back 1, around 10 and back 1, around 10 and back 1. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, adding 9s. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're at 4, and we've got 4 spaces here. So we're going to go 4, and we're just going to go down 3, 2, 1, 0, and then add our 10s. 19, 20, 21, 22. So really we can add doing our 1s digits and 10s digits, and pattern play math uses the 1s digits and 10 digits patterns a lot, because that's where our basic patterns in math are. That's where we find them. Okay, so now we're at, yeah, you can see that. 22. So now, well, guess what? We're getting close to 50. Divided by 5. 50 divided by 5 is 10. Well, and we're at a multiple of 10, 220. So it makes it real easy. We just do 230, 240, and 250. And 50 times 50 is 2,500. And we saw that on our other sheet. That's how easy that is. So let's put our 2,500 up here. And actually, I'm going to shift to my blue for the last zero because we have to do our 60 is down here, put our 0 there, and go up 1496, and go down 1496, and put our 5 in the middle because it's by 55. And actually, while we're doing that, let's just put in our 5, because 5 times 1 more than 5, 5 times 6 is 30, and 30 and 25, 30, 25. So we have that in there. So let's just continue on up. And actually, after a 9, draw a line. And after a 9, draw a line. That's where our pattern is going to change. So we're still going up by 10s here. 250, 260, 270. Now, actually, it's going to be 280. Easy. Could it be that easy? It is that easy. It's really incredible. Now, we're at a line, and now we're at 55. Divide by 5 equals 11. Well, 11 isn't too bad because we can do 291. Going up, going up. Each of the 10s and 1s go up by 1. All right. Now we do 29 becomes 30 and 1 becomes 2. And there it fits the pattern. Now we do 3 and then 1 and 3 because the 0 goes up to 1 and the 2 goes up to 3. Now we do 324 because the 1 goes up to 2 and the 3 goes up to 4. That's just that easy. Now, we're actually going to go up by 12, but we can go up by 1 and by 2, and we're actually at a multiple of 12. Look at that. 324 is a multiple of 12. So we have then adding 12s, 336, going up by 12, or going up by 2 and going up by 1. Going up by 1, going up by 2. Do that again. 348. Going up by 1, going up by 2, and then 48 plus 12 is actually going to be 360, or you could add 2 here, takes it to 10, and then 1 plus 1 more is 2, is 6, and we have 3,600. 60 times 60 is 3,600.
And we've just created the squares from 1 to 60.
But that doesn't mean that it's no problem, because you can go as high as you want. So I'm going to stop that share and back to me again. And I really hope you see how easy that is. And you may have to watch this a couple times to see it, and then do it. And do it a bunch of times. And then you might need to come back to the video one more time. But once you understand how easy this all is, you're going to go, wow, I can do this. I can do this easy. And it's going to help you. It's going to help you, and it's going to help your kids for the rest of their lives. So enjoy learning the squares. See all the simple patterns, have fun learning it, and make good use of it. And in about 2 weeks, I'll show you how to square any single number. So if you want to do 27 squared, it's just 625. So add 2 5s is 72, and then it's going to be in a 9, 729. I'll show you how to do that in 2 weeks. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you showing up, and I hope this is enjoyable for you. And please let me know if you have any questions or if you have any comments on this. I always appreciate feedback and likes and shares. So do that.